Aliens on a high-tech aircraft traveling quickly to planet Earth. What exactly are these beings looking for?
All these otherworldly curiosities. Perhaps a sign.
And emerging evidence that shows modern-day toys found with fossils dated back 20,000 years ago.
As we discover these long waitlisted hot toys from 20,000 years ago, if they make it on our eBay platforms today, one of them may even sell more than the current crosshair.
And has the presence of aliens and their ancient artifacts been clearly displayed in ancient texts?
When you study these ancient holy texts, you can clearly see that our ancient ancestors utilized some of these sacred objects to give them some sort of power for their home worlds.
Empower their home worlds? Are these otherworldly beings coming to Earth to reclaim their planet and to get into the Q system for the new artisan hot toys? So you do have to ask yourself, are these new artisan and in our action figures attracting more aliens to our planet? There is a doorway that leads to the notion that life here began out there, far across the universe. Join Aries Harrington as he embarks on a quest to uncover ancient action figures, not only on planet Earth, but in other realities and other Earths across the universe. Within this episode of the Aries Harrington Show, we're going to look at some situations like this. Look at this Grievous, this Sideshow Grievous, well under retail, $160. Not a bite, baby. And the reason it doesn't have a bite, is it possible because of this Grievous that's now available from Hot Toys? We're going to dive into that and tie it right into this. You got a Wonder Woman right here, 1984. This is a situation with a lot of the prior releases of Wonder Woman. But no bites. But yet a figure like this, which is on the wait list, averages at $1,000. What's the difference? What's going on with all of these figures? Whether it's the Grievous, whether it's the Wonder Woman, whether it's some Spider-Man, some Iron Man, some Darth Vader figures, you're not going to want to miss as we dive into that. Here's a prime example of something right now from the U.S., not from Hong Kong or overseas. New York Jets 1986, outstanding seller, $620 and gone. Well over retail, just sold. Not even the best offer executed. Why? We're going to talk about that. Look at all this here. Look at all these figures. They're all on the wait list. And are we moving towards just a queue system or just a pre-order model? When was the last time a figure actually gets in stock? We're going to talk about that. Is that over forever? And then, yes, right here, this Sand Trooper Sergeant now with a low stock remaining warning. The Dewback Deluxe waitlisted. The Dewback waitlisted. We're going to dive into this figure and some of the stuff on the wait list for sure, but not before we crack open the Wizard Juice, the special Wizard Juice for this episode. See the constellations inside. Let's kind of shake it up. Open it up and have it move around. Let's see how it's shaking, baby. Let's suck down the knowledge. Oh yeah. And also in this episode for sure, as I talk about all this near the end of it, you're going to see some side by side comparisons of a couple of in-art, these premium figures, rooted, and a couple of rooted wool hair implantation technology Hot Toys figures. You're going to get that in all of this right now. right, and welcome to another episode of the Aries Tarrington Show, right here at the Six Scale Cantina, a midweek or kind of near the end of the week Aries Tarrington Show, which is pretty awesome. Happy to go ahead and provide that for you right here. Let's dive right into it, and let's just start where we left off with the intro here with the Sand Trooper Sergeant. Yeah, now the Sergeant has a low stock remaining warning. Look, should we be surprised about this? You know, and I say no. I say no. We shouldn't be surprised at this point with this. Look, ladies and gentlemen, this is the new norm. This is the new norm. Not getting a low stock remaining warning when it's actually in stock. You're getting a low stock remaining warning while it's in stock on paper. While it's in stock, with their paper inventory. Okay? Just like the world has moved to a very virtual type of space where, time doesn't exist. You could speak to somebody in Asia, from the United States, from America, and time in a way does not exist. It's just at the same time. And now you don't necessarily need to have the stock here at a warehouse in the United States or somewhere in Europe or somewhere else. It's just on stock in paper for an upcoming production. It's on a pre-order, and it gets on the wait list before it ever gets in stock. So I'm sure many of you, I know I do, I remember the days where figures would get their final production photos, and one of the bigger channels would, put out a video, and we'd all be waiting with bated breath to get it in hand or see some other subsequent reviews and, take a look at the stuff. And, 4 or 5 months later, when we get to the United States, and would stay in stock for a couple of months once Sideshow got it, and then it hit the wait list. They're not even making it out of pre-order. And we shouldn't be surprised on this release. I will tell you that the big, expensive one where everything is together is available for right at the moment. But this is the kiss of death, if you will. $705. This happened with the DX28. This also happened, I believe, with the Return of the Jedi one. The smaller ones will go. Low stock remaining on there. Dewback is waitlisted. And the deluxe, the Dewback regular, and then this will follow suit. Look, and I don't think this is going to be an easy grab in the secondary market. It's an OT trooper with a long-awaited Dewback. They're making enough to fill the pre-orders here on what they're going to have, and they're already starting to stop what's being available Dewback-wise, and now not just Dewback-wise, but Sand Trooper by himself wise, which is the sign that the set by itself is about to hit the wait list for sure. And look, a lot of reasons why this is going on is because you have a lot of this that's going on right now in the secondary market, which is affecting the primary market. You could see right here from an outstanding seller with 333 feedback, and wait for it. 100% positive. Look, $260 for a 2-pack Boba Fett. 19 bids. A lot of demand. People want this. They just don't want to spend over $260.69 at this moment of time for it, and not anything over $10.10 in shipping. And this has nothing to do with the Boba Fett show or anything like that. I mean, you could take a look at this, from any standpoint. Put up the Nightmare Batman and long-coveted dark suit Superman. Long coveted. Just too many. And just $300.34, again with a lot of bids, 30 bids. Great seller, 591 feedback, and all 100% positive. A little bit more with the shipping on this one, $26.05, and of course not including taxes, and new. And absolutely new. And you have to ask yourself, is this the reason why you're seeing these type of things hit the wait list, like the aforementioned OT Stormtroopers, or all of these figures that are up on here? Look, I mean, I'm picking the artisans right now. You can see these artisans. And I think there's a couple of reasons why these are on the queue system. Of course, they're very, very exclusive, and they're limited. And I think when you make them exclusive and limited, and you're limiting them to, like the 4,000 pieces with this Joker you see up there, or whatever it is, 4,500 on the Jack Sparrow artisan, or the 4,000 on the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, or the 3,000 or 3,500 on the Iron Spider, which I've got that on pre-order, and the DX Artisan Joker, or the 2,500 on the Scarlet Witch, or so on and so forth. It creates a call to action. It creates buzz. There's only 2,500. There's only 2,000. There's only 3,000 Anakins. There's only 6,000 total Black Widows, Scarlett Johanssons. 6,000 compared to the 3,000 in Anakin? No problem. Gone. In an hour and a half, basically. Just gone. 6,000 pieces. It creates a call to action. It's special because it's very limited. And that's what's happening with these particular figures. Not to mention, with anything that has rooted hair implantation technology, it is a real tedious process, because it's not just wool hair that is utilized. That is a higher quality, hair than Barbie hair. So it's kind of like going from pleather to leather. So that is more expensive. But when you implant it, it's really, really an artistic process to get that done. Which is why you're seeing some of the prices on these artisans, besides the fact that the head sculpts are absolutely next level. Next level to match what InArt has done when they introduced and unveiled their awesome InArt Joker, the sculpted and the rooted hair version, which is why Hot Toys answered with their Joker and their sculpted version. But why Hot Toys ultimately answered with their new premium line, which is their artisan line and their rejuvenated DX line, which you see releases such as the DX28, or more recently, the battle damaged Darth Vader with the full Hayden Christensen head sculpt. That is as premium as these. Extra attention into the head sculpt, extra attention into the accessories, into the details, into the clothing, into what you get, the mechanics of it. And that's what you have now with Hot Toys. You have this premium DX artisan line. With InArt, you have everything is premium at this point. And then, of course, you got your regular releases. And, of course, Hot Toys now has, put forth a Hano line, which is a budget line. So there's actually 3 tiers the way I see it right now. You got the Hano line, you got the regular stuff that they put out with, which obviously the InArt Joker showed that they were superior in many, many ways. And now you've got the Premium DX Artisan line, which is right on par with that. It's the same thing. Now they've got 3 levels. But anyway, because they're premium and because they're tedious, that also requires them to be in a queue and limited. But not just that. It has a lot to do. It has a whole lot to do with creating demand, with creating buzz, and creating a call to action And that's exactly what's happening. And even when it's not in a queue system and it's just a regular figure like this General Grievous, that's still available for pre-order, what's going to happen? This regular General Grievous is eventually going to get a low stock, remaining warning like that original trilogy, Trooper and the Dewback. And it's going to be like, wow, this isn't going to get in stock. And wow, I have to jump on this now. And I was kind of waiting to put down my NRD. And oh my goodness, oh my gosh, and boom, 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 boom. So you're kind of getting into a kind of an unofficial queue system right there, just before that low stock says join the waitlist or waitlist full. And again, a lot of the reasons why you are seeing things like this is because of what you're seeing. And I've showed you time after time after time again, what's going on in the secondary market. No matter how good the 2-pack is, or how premium the figure is, or how popular Iron Man is. You can look at those Mark 85s, or you can look at the, the the other Iron Mans that are out there, or the Spider-Mans that are out there. Spider-Man from Spider-Man 2, or Spider-Man 3, or, any of these figures, the Darth Vader DX28, the Darth Vader Return of the Jedi 40th, and you can put the new Mythos kind of full head sculpt Hayden Christensen battle damage Darth Vader in the same boat. It doesn't matter the popularity. It has a limited time. So are we basically at the moment done with figures at this time that are getting actually in stock to just buy at a whim whenever we feel like it months after? Are we done with that? And I say, yes, it's over. At least for right now. Everything is, you got to get it on the pre-order. If it's a queue system, you get on the queue, you try to get it. If it's something more like General Grievous, you have a certain amount of time. But we don't exactly know how long that time is. We know that we're getting close when it's supposed to be released. Sometimes they go on waitlist way months before they're due to come out. But what is, there's only so much juice within the orange to squeeze. You squeeze it, you get juice, and you keep squeezing it, you get more juice. It's like great. Then eventually you kind of dry up. And that's kind of what happened after COVID when you kept producing. When companies kept producing at the same magnitude. Remember, during COVID, people were stuck at home for the most part. And they had extra income, mainly because they weren't spending that much, with extracurricular activities outside the home. Okay? And people were buying things like figures more and more. Now that time is over. And a lot more people are out. And, these collectibles, there was a certain amount that people were buying that wasn't really a reality for the long term. And not to mention that, you got an economy that is just volatile. The global economy is not at a point where there is a lot of expendable income for a lot of people such as me and you. And for a lot of your friends and the people you know. So that is why this is happening. In addition, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek here. A little bit of a sneak peek. And this is what I'm going to give you, on this show. And I'm going to pull this up on the screen. So if you like what you hear here and you like what I put out, I put an enormous amount of time into my research on what I do here and with my shows. This has been uploaded for insiders. They have been aware that they had early access to this. There's actually another, video right now that I recently just put up. You could check this out if you want to join. But speaking about this in particularly, I'm going to give you a look at this and what you would get when you join my channel. So this ties directly into what I'm talking about here. How can we look at these two in-art figures, these premium figures, and these two Hot Toys figures, the two wool-rooted hair implantation technology figures? How can you look at these four next level, new age, next level figures and kind of draw comparisons between the four of them and to what I've been talking about here as to what collectors are trying to save for? What collectors are electing to put their money into versus what was, the old, and versus what they're trying to do now. And not just really because it has wool hair. There are figures like the Darth Vader, for instance, that just doesn't have hair. But that's on the same level with this. Let's go ahead and look into this. If you want to join my channel when you see this and when you look at this, all you got to do is click on the little join button, see everything that it comes with. I really do appreciate your support. It does help me, and I love providing this stuff for you. But here is a little bit of a here's this whole comparison here and tying this in. Let's go ahead and check that out, baby. All right, and welcome to a very special episode of the Aries Tarrington Show right here at 6 Scale Cantina, baby. Look, I don't think the question anymore is in-art better or is Hot Toys better? I mean, a lot of collectors are saying this Heath Ledger Joker, this artisan one, has surpassed the one that in-art put out. Who cares? Because when you compare it to the Gandalf figure, on every conceivable angle, that Heath Ledger Joker and that Gandalf look just like Ian McKellen and Heath Ledger on every angle. And this is by far, she is absolutely gorgeous. That Gal Gadot, first artisan, if you will, just blows away the likeness from all the other Wonder Woman Hot Toys. They look like toys. And, we thought that they looked good, like real people, but is it possible that, it was getting stale, this collecting hobby, and we didn't even realize it? So you got to give in-art a lot of credit here, because they really pushed the envelope and showed that we could do better. Collectors could get better. The likeness could be uncanny. We thought it was uncanny, and they pushed Hot Toys, and the result is perhaps the best Joker ever right here. So it's not really a question. Is in-art better than Hot Toys? Is Hot Toys better than in-art? I think the question really is, and the thing really is, our hobby has moved to another level. Now, I think you should thank in-art for that, because it was because of their Heath Ledger Joker that all this was happening. That it was unveiled, that things were a little bit stale. It was the same old, same old. And with that in-art Joker, just look at her. Gosh darn. The level of detail on the head sculpts now are with the DX and artisan lines. And I say DX because like that Darth Vader, that new battle damage one, that mythos style one, is just, even though it doesn't have hair, it's next level like that Gandalf. It's next level like that Gal Gadot Wonder Woman. It's next level like that Heath Ledger Joker. And because that envelope was pushed, Hot Toys did develop an artisan and newly, rejuvenated DX line that now matches what in-art does. In-art only does premium figures. Everything is smacked out of the park, home run. And with this artisan and DX line, Hot Toys is matching on every part. And you can see that here. And I think that the real, and putting these three figures in front of you, and we're going to see that Aragorn, a sneak peek. I don't want to give it all, because I'm going to be putting out a review, just like I did on that artisan Heath Ledger Joker, so you could look forward to that here in a few days. You're seeing more detail with the bases, more detail with the accessories, with the weaponry on a lot of these new artisan and DX figures. They're next level. And Hot Toys has 3 different lines now. They got the Hano line, which is budget, and they have the high quality line, which is their artisan and DX line. So you do have to wonder about their regular releases. just their regular releases, are they just mid-tier now? And I say yes. Why? Because the in-art Joker and this in-art Gandalf really just is next level over the regular Hot Toys releases and any other company. I mean, you could talk about the Lord of the Rings figures from Asmus, and they're great. This is just another level. And this is another level from what Hot Toys was doing. But now, when you're looking at Hot Toys' premier line, it's not a question of who's better. It's a question of collectors now have an option for premium, highest quality figures with, if the actor or actress has hair, with, wool, not wool, but rooted hair implantation technology. I know Hot Toys uses the wool. And you're seeing it with the bases, you're seeing it with the weaponry. And this is, look at this comparison here. And now here's another in-art. So you've got Hot Toys, in-art, Hot Toys, in-art. And these are just unbelievable. It's kind of funny. Look, I'm doing an episode that doesn't have any Star Wars figures in it. Who says that I'm just a Star Wars guy? So I think other channel creators will have to stop that with the Dark Jedi here. But I'll always be the Dark Jedi. But yeah, I mean, these figures are a lot of attention. If in-art, if Hot Toys was not going to answer in-art with that Joker and with what they're doing, then in-art would be the absolute top of the line. And you can see the answer right here. And I think both companies, the competition is really, really good because you're starting to see next level figures. I think with Hot Toys, they have a few tiers now. They have their regular line, which is a step under that Aragorn and that Gandalf, if you will. These artisans keep looking like that Gal Gadot Wonder Woman and this Heath Ledger Joker. Can you imagine with that upcoming Scarlet Witch and Black Widow and Anakin and Jack Sparrow? Oh my goodness. This is what we're looking at. And when you're seeing these here, you're seeing these four figures are just on another level from previous Wonder Woman releases, from previous Joker releases, from anything that's really been released, from the past. These are next level. And it's really, look at this. When you unveil it, this is what collectors now are looking for, this type of experience. Wow. Wow. Just wow. And I remember my experience the first time I've seen Hot Toys with rooted hair implantation technology. And this was ultra special. From the packaging, from the accessories, from the way these head sculpts are put in. Our hobby has changed. And look at Aragorn right there, just another small sneak peek. Not going to give you really any close-ups. Look, get ready for that review coming up. But this figure is absolutely next level. Leather, the materials, the accessories, the base, the presentation, absolutely next level when you're looking at this. Just gaze upon that. And gaze upon this. And we don't even have the regular DX version, the regular outfit. But wow. Next level with the Heath Ledger Joker. Next level. With this Ian McKellen Gandalf. Next level. Next level. This... you could just look at her spin there, baby. If you see this in person, all I could say is she is... I don't even got the tiara on her. It's unbelievable. Just giving it to you absolutely raw. So you could see how these look. Just high-res close-ups, no fancy lighting. Just me there with my alien phone. And there's a little sneak peek of the Aragorn. You can see that. See the outfit. Give you a little sneak peek here. The level of detail. The leather on that jacket. The accessories. You can see that head sculpt right there. It's a very, very excellent likeness. And speaking of Jack Sparrow, look, I wanted to give you a comparison. Did Hot Toys and some companies just get lazy before InArt pushed the envelope? Because going all the way back, this is a DX06. This doesn't look like such an outcast, does it? With all four of these figures here. You gotta wonder what it's gonna look like with that new artisan Jack Sparrow. I cannot wait to see it. But I think it did. Thanks to InArt for pushing the envelope. But again, these premium line from Hot Toys is on target with what InArt is doing. And for the future of collecting, these figures, I thought they couldn't look any more close. I thought that Jack Sparrow was the best thing since popcorn. But, I mean, that just looks like Heath Ledger is there in my case. That looks like Ian McKellen is there in my case. And remember, with this implantation technology, both companies is very, very detailed. And I don't even got the tiara on Wonder Woman, but that looks like freaking Gal Gadot. And it's gorgeous. Next level, baby. Next level. Stay thirsty. All right. Well, I hope you really enjoyed that. That gives you an idea of what you get when you become a channel member here at the 6 Scale Cantina. Look, I put a lot of effort into this, whether you join the channel or not. If you want to go ahead and support, it's rather inexpensive per month. I think it's $3.99 a month to become a member. And if you like that, you like things like that, you also like some expanded thoughts and heightened analysis on the secondary market, the primary market, the sideshow waitlist alerts, and all this kind of stuff, you just may want to consider joining the channel. And, then you could go ahead and join, my clone army of ancient action figure theorists. And you do have to wonder, is it possible that you are an ancient action figure theorist? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. And that does tie directly into what I was talking about earlier. And pretty much what you see on the banner with this whole show right here. You saw those in-hand comparisons. Stockless pre-orders. Is this our new reality? And I do say yes. So look, encapsulating all of this. When you look at what's on the screen right here, this is everything, all the WB, wool-rooted hair, implantation technology Wonder Woman. And you're seeing these prices after this has been on the market well after a year now. $1,200, $1,400, $1,138, $1,500, $1,100, $1,200, last ones. And I've shown you auction after auction of these particular figures. And it's really not just an anomaly with her, and there's not that many. Once you get this in hand, and you've seen that on the video, and I actually have the tiara on her now. So I think, as I'm recording this, I see if I can flash up a little video, a picture-in-picture here, so you could see her with the tiara on. She is just absolutely stunning, this particular figure. And, and then you're seeing this as well with some of these artisans, like I brought up before. This is really just a kit bash, if you will. Christian Bale armor that was very nicely painted to be. When you have this in hand, it's sick. With that DX artisan, Joker that's not out yet, but certainly the head sculpt is out. And you see not even a best order, exercised here. Just $620 and gone. And when you throw up everything on InArt Aragorn, it's the same type of thing. You're seeing these prices, $1,172, $1,200, And these are for the rooted hair editions. $900, $1,000. And the same thing with Gandalf when you pull this up, $800, $900, $1,000. You know, it's absolutely insane with these figures and what is going on. You know, and before I even, tie up and get into that, when you talk about the upcoming Artisan Anakin, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just telling you the amount of buzz for this particular figure. And one person already has this in their cart. I don't even know what that means. But you can see here from blowing this up, this person was able to secure, this pre-order here. I sure wish I did. Maybe my wait list will convert. But that's what these figures are going for. But the real reason is why. Why is that happening and why is this going on? And I'll tell you why. Because there's a new level that this hobby has reached. And this new level is head sculpts, precision of artistry, and technology that just is not only a step, but perhaps in certain avenues of articulation, design, innovation, accessories, materials, artistry, and technology, a couple of steps above where we once were. And you're seeing that the demand is going towards these figures that perhaps we didn't think was possible to hit these levels that we're seeing now. And I think that that's what's happening, in addition to not enough money, not enough juice in a banana to squeeze it all. Forget about the orange being done. Try and squeeze juice out of a banana. It's very, 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 very difficult. And there's just not enough banana juice, baby, to go around. And if you want these premium figures coming out from InArt and these premium figures that are coming out from Hot Toys, some of them with rooted hair implantation technology, which again is very tedious, and some of them, of course, that don't require rooted hair, like, the battle damaged full Hayden Christensen head sculpt DX Darth Vader that was just released. It's going to cost some money. These figures are mostly over $400. I think the least expensive I've seen was the Scarlett Johansson Black Widow at $385, $15 away, from $400. But of course, that's not including tax. Of course, that's not including shipping. It's just a whole new way. And with how much these go for, and with how volatile the global economy is, and with how a lot of prior items are just sitting in stock, are we on the road to a continuation of just a complete blackout with pre-orders, meaning just stockless pre-orders? And I say yes. They're basically going to use the word stock, like I said before, virtually, for the pre-order. And then once that quota is met, or it's reached, or however they're doing it, that's the end, ladies and gentlemen. Now, here's the thing you got to understand. With all of these figures, you've already seen it on the Joker on the right. When it comes to Hot Toys, you're going to get more and more announcements. This is when it comes to Hot Toys. Less production of those announcements, which is what I've been saying is happening and what is happening. But not only more 2.0s, which we see that happening, but more different variations of these figures. Case in point, that Joker, that Artisan Joker, the DX hasn't even come out, and it's already with the Batman imposter version that you've seen earlier in this video. We've already seen this happening with the Clone Wars General Obi-Wan Kenobi with the Mandalorian Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Clone Wars as well. Are they going to be doing that with some of these other figures like the upcoming Anakin? And I say, yes, baby. They're going to be. They're going to be. Let's crack open some more wizard juice here. It's going to be very dangerous. Look at all these constellations and stars just moving like crazy. Wait a minute. I think I just tasted. I'm getting a vision of Luke on a Tauntaun. Let me take some more. Wait. It looks like I just tasted, and I'm getting a vision of Han and on a Tauntaun. Wait. Let me drink just a little more, baby. A little more. It looks like I'm getting another vision of those being artisan. An artisan, Luke. Let me take one more swig. This is like a high, big babies. And I think I'm seeing an artisan Han. I think I better sober up. Here's some damn spotchka. Remember, I only do this kind of stuff safely. And when I do it right here, baby. At the 6 Scale Cantina. Stay thirsty, my friends.